She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, and mainly because of her and because nobody wanted to support her.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
Rachel Zegler just faced the most devastating Hollywood moment ever. What was supposed to be a major step forward for the company has now turned into a catastrophe. How does this major setback affect Rachel Zegler's career? And what does this mean for Disney's future? Join us as we uncover the shocking details that changes everything. After months of controversy, industry drama, and severe backlash from fans, Disney has now confirmed it's rebooting Snow White yet again. This bombshell comes right after the much-criticized version starring Rachel Zegler, which many now see as one of Disney's biggest flops in recent history. During a private media event, Disney execs described the upcoming remake as a major reset, a return to classic storytelling, and a bold attempt to win back audiences, while patching up the studio's rocky relationship with fans across generations.
Rachel Zegler just keeps making things worse with the Walt Disney Company. The more that she tries to defend this movie, the more that she tries to spew her agenda onto the general public, it's only making matters worse. Not just for Bob Iger, but for whatever is left of the image of Disney as a whole.
The Rachel Zegler adaptation, pitched as a bold feminist twist on the 1937 classic, quickly grabbed attention for straying far from the original story. While Disney thought it was pushing forward with a progressive vision, fans weren't impressed. Social media exploded after Zegler made remarks that many saw as dismissive of the original film's legacy. Her comments calling the prince irrelevant and the romance awkward turned into viral flashpoints, fueling heated debates and building a wave of frustration that eventually turned into full-blown backlash.
Jonah Platt, whose father helped produce the latest Snow White film, had some very harsh words for star Rachel Zegler.
For context, Variety wrote a report recently titled, I'm in the thick of rehearsals for Romeo plus Juliet, so I'm going to get out of here. Bye for now. The Variety story notes how a couple of minutes after posting this, she replied to her own tweet and wrote, and always remember, free Palestine.
Inside Disney, sources revealed that the backlash caught executives completely off guard. Early test screenings got lukewarm reactions, but the real shock hit after the trailer dropped. That's when everything blew up. Fan communities, nostalgic viewers, and film critics all came together, united in outrage over the extreme changes to the beloved classic.
I'll quickly mention this. The son of Snow White producer Mark Platt, Jonah Platt is the son's name, he is speaking out publicly against Rachel Zegler and blaming her for the film's catastrophic failure at the box office. I mean, he's totally right. Now, of course, as we covered, the movie is terrible anyway in its own right. It was probably going to underperform regardless. People are tired of the soulless cash grab remake thing.
The response was louder and more intense than anyone at the studio expected. The backlash didn't just make noise, it refused to die down. Hashtags slamming the film's creative choices trended for weeks, forcing Disney's PR teams into full crisis mode as they scrambled to control the fallout. Now, in a dramatic move to break away from the controversy, the studio has revealed a brand new Snow White project with production starting in late 2025. This time, Disney insists the remake will tap back into the emotional core and iconic visuals of the 1937 classic. That means bringing back beloved characters, magical musical numbers, and the fairy tale charm critics said was completely missing last time.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
Oh my God.
And I can only hope.
What does that mean?
That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line.
Launching a fresh reboot so quickly shows just how desperate and high stakes this situation really is. Disney has been facing mounting pressure to explain its ongoing streak of live-action remakes, many of which have struggled both with critics and at the box office. With the Snow White brand teetering on the edge of being permanently damaged, executives are betting that a carefully crafted reboot could restore its reputation and win back longtime fans.
Hello, Disney.
You're going to have to redo your film again because this woman is a pig and you fired Gina Carano for far less than this nonsense.
Interestingly, insiders reveal that the new version will stick much closer to the original 1937 storyline, while still weaving in a few subtle modern updates to keep things fresh without losing the magic. According to insiders, these changes are meant to be respectful, not a full rewrite. One producer explained that the goal isn't to fix what isn't broken, but to bring back timeless themes with a touch of modern elegance. This new tone marks a dramatic shift from the last attempt, which many felt tried way too hard to tear down the original's foundation. Casting rumors are already flying around, adding fuel to the buzz.
What's her friend screaming?
Wow.
And it's, nobody was in there. Nobody
Can you go to yeah, that's very, so this is Bob Iger. Disney's Bob Iger says their mission is to...
Though Disney is staying tight-lipped about any details so far. Sources close to the production say Disney is on the hunt for a leading actress who captures that old-school Hollywood charm, someone with genuine warmth, relatability, and strong vocal skills. Unlike the previous film, where off-screen comments stole the spotlight, this new project will reportedly enforce stricter media training to keep all messaging aligned with the film's core themes and avoid another PR meltdown. Disney's fresh push for tighter, more unified storytelling comes after some tough lessons.
Yeah, we had more dwarfs than we did viewers in most of these theaters. And as you know, there were no dwarfs other than some CGI weird generated version of them.
Leaked documents from earlier this year exposed internal clashes between the studio's marketing, creative, and PR teams during the rollout of the Zegler film. These behind-the-scenes disagreements caused major confusion, leading to a messy promotional campaign that constantly sent mixed signals and left audiences scratching their heads.
Now, for Disney, as you probably remember, all of this publicity, the Zegler interviews, the Daily Mail leak, caused a lot of unexpected, for them anyway, pre-production problems. People weren't supposed to see and understand just how unwatchable the new Snow White was going to be. It was supposed to be, kind of a surprise, but now there was no hiding it.
The upcoming Snow White reboot is now under much tighter supervision to avoid the chaos from last time. And it's not just the movie's image on the line. Merchandise from the previous release flopped hard. Major retailers had to slash prices on toys and clothing tied to the film just weeks after hitting shelves, signaling a major loss in fan interest and confidence. Reports from Disney's Consumer Products Division reveal millions of dollars in unsold merchandise still sitting in warehouses. The financial blow was massive.
Her heroine cannot be in love or be saved by a man, the prince, that she's more focused on becoming the leader she was meant to be, as if women in modern day America must make that choice.
Controversy has swirled around Gal Gadot's new movie, also starring Rachel Zegler as Snow White. A lot of people don't like her. A lot of people don't like her either. She's got a big mouth. She talked trash about the original movie.
It's just a total nightmare for the studios. So now she's trying to sell like, oh, I love Snow White. I love everything about the whole story. Here she is more recently trying to change the messaging. This is actually Wednesday.
Given all the behind-the-scenes mayhem, I expected a Frankenstein's monster where scenes to be stitched together. I think a lot of these live-action updates are really hard to watch. They've really done so much stepping on rakes over the last few months with this project where the box office is just not going to recover.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
I remember back in 2023 when this was going on and all the little people making videos saying, well, wait, there's so few roles for us in Hollywood. We're being passed over for this. You could have cast seven
screw you,
little
Peter
people.
Dinklage.
Exactly. They're like, Peter Dinklage, you're rich. We're not. We're trying to be extras or, we're in Johnny Knoxville's Jackass if we're lucky.
And analysts warn that Disney simply can't risk another commercial failure tied to one of its most iconic and treasured properties. Responding to growing concerns, Disney has brought in a fresh team of creatives to lead the charge on the reboot. While the plot is expected to stay mostly true to the original, some modern touches are on the way. sources confirm that the beloved forest animals will make a comeback, this time with upgraded animation that mixes practical effects with CGI magic. As for the dwarfs, they'll be thoughtfully reimagined, carefully sidestepping the backlash that came from their removal or redesign in the last version. One of the biggest changes this time around, Disney is bringing back veteran animators and consultants who helped craft past princess films. Many of these creative minds were behind the magic of the Renaissance-era classics, and now they're stepping in to guide the new Snow White on tone, pacing, and emotional depth. Disney leadership believes that tapping into the studio's artistic roots is crucial for rebuilding trust and winning back the hearts of longtime fans. Rachel Zegler, for her part, has stayed mostly quiet since the new reboot was announced. Once praised for her breakout performance in West Side Story, she quickly became the center of a massive online firestorm as criticism of the remake exploded. Her media appearances, meant to promote empowerment, were seen by many as tone-deaf or dismissive. Zegler later said her words were taken out of context, but by then, the damage was done, and the backlash had already locked in with full force. Meanwhile, fans are cautiously hopeful across online forums. The reboot announcement has ignited passionate conversations about redemption, legacy, and what it really means to revisit a story as treasured as Snow White. While some viewers are still skeptical, others are genuinely excited about the chance for a fresh start. One fan summed it up perfectly: "I just want the magic back. Give me the songs, the romance, the animation-style forest. I'll be there on opening night if they do it right this time." Disney is counting on that kind of hope to turn into ticket sales and trust regained. Whether this bold strategy will succeed, where the last one flopped, is still up in the air, but one thing's certain: Disney refuses to let Snow White be buried by a single failure. This reboot isn't just another remake. It's a full-blown attempt to restore the reputation of a studio that once set the gold standard for fairy tales. If the new version finds the right balance, it could reignite the magic and remind the world why Snow White was the film that launched it all in the first place. What do you think about Disney's Snow White reboot? Is Disney finally listening to its fans? Or is this just another attempt to clean up the mess? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for further updates.